They call it public consultation, but what is actually happening on the ground? I'm standing here at the hearings for the Constitution Amendment Bill number 3, and the atmosphere is electric with tension. On one side, you hear the voices of the people shouting a clear no, protecting the future of our nation. But on the other side, something different is happening. Busloads of people are arriving from rural areas, many appearing confused about the very law they are here to support. You've seen it in the photos, the 3 fingers raised in the air, a sign of support or a sign of a coordinated script. In this video, I'm taking you inside. You're going to see the raw rejection from those who have read the fine print, and the manufactured support from those who might not even know what they're signing away. This is the battle for our Constitution. Let's look at the truth.
Bill Amendment Bill number 3 extend term of president. We are not happy now. In a why? The problem is president vanema interest avai nawo pa atori kutonga rine ma interest rainaro iko zvinezvi 46 years vachitonga handiti kana vari kuda dzimwe 2 years dzekugadzirisa chii chavari kuda kuti vazogadzirisa. Hapana chavachagadzirisa. 2 years hatichakwana pa 46 years vakazvita dzakaya. Saka inini pari zvinhu zvekutaura kuti inini amendment bill number 3 we are condemning it. Handiti tinofanira kuenda kuconstitution referendum outreach. Handiti vanhu votaura pfungwa dzavo zvekusainiswa mapepa zvatore echibhokasi tinoda kutobirwa ipapapo nevanhu. So inini hangu pache zvangu ichi chibhiwo ichika ichi chichakadhakwa hachipo hachishandi.
Uya kuburikidza nereferendum. So why can't you go through the referendum? Kana pasina chitsotsi handei nepereferendum. Right, chechipiri. Hello. Chechipiri nini rikuti. Kana taenda nepareferendum, munhu wese ane mukana wekutaura. Inini ndinoona kuti bill number chakadaro 3 yoyo yakanaka kune vamwe, asi kana kunosarudza president, inini ndoda kuisa president wandiri kuda as an individual. Ndakazvimiririra. Saka handei kureferendum tonosangana ikoko. Iwo uchitaura zvaunoda, ini ndichitaura zvandinoda. That's my proposition.
Human rights activist. Inini ndiripa kuti bill number 3 isaenderere mberi nezvikonzero zvinoti isisu tichenda kunovhota takavhotera president kuti vagare for 5 years not 7 years. Saka chavanoda chacho kuti vaachieve in about 2 years time chavakatadza kuachiva ne10 years dzichange dzavatanga vaita chii. I feel kuti apana chitsotsi chiri kuitika apa. Why do I say so? With Ian Douglas Smith, together with his cabinet, they crafted the mighty Constitution. Asi abakuzoba akakole Constitution. Constitution yakazovapa nesuma Zimbabweans. Saka abona vachiri chinozoita kuti varambire pavachigara. After time yavo Nigeria hapana. Isisu tine mighty Constitution. Like right now. Arasitedzera constitution yedu. Isusu tinoda kuti vatedzere constitution yedu. Ndevona kuti yes, it's all I am very there. It was not
sonke tisale nina benkulumani thina sibo benkulumani asibo benketha thina hayi imekele njani ngena phakathi ukukhuluma senimthatha ngaka manje nabo bamthethe amavidiyo yakhona
kunomehluko wokuchaya nokuxoxa
Gentlemen,
Zimbabwe, anditsigiri bill number 3. Chekutanga chandinonamira zita rangu ndiri mwana weZimbabwe. Chekutanga chandinonamira bill number 3 ndechokuti honorable toda kuita zviri uniform zvakataura munotaura zita renyu mobva mapinda munyaya zita renyu kana musina kutaura ndinamora ndiri muzvarwa wemuzimbabwe ini chandisingatsigiri bill number 3 ndechokuti tichidzidza tiri kuchikoro chainzi ndimi vapresidenti amangwana ndimi vaminista amangwana
Particularly when we get power. There's a saying that says power tends to corrupt, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And my fundamental objection to this entire amendment bill is founded on that principle. I was a member of COPAC. I was a co-chair of COPAC at the beginning. I was in the deadlock breaking committee of COPAC. And COPAC resulted in a constitution in 2013, which was a delicate balance that sought to achieve the balance of powers between the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. Now, I don't have sufficient time today to go into everything in detail, but the fundamental problem with this is that it distorts that balance. It gives the president too much power in appointing senators. It gives the president too much power in appointing judges. It gives the president too much power in appointing people like the Registrar General who are responsible for the voters' roll. It also undermines some of the critical elements of our society. Let's look at chiefs for a moment. Chiefs are our equivalent of royalty. It is hereditary. People in rural areas in particular look up to chiefs. They say that chiefs are the neutral arbiters. As we know, in the rural areas, chiefs are responsible for arbitrating. Now, if chiefs can become partisan, they become partisan arbitrators, and that is fundamentally wrong. But my principal objection to this is the extension of terms by 2 years. And I say it for two reasons. Firstly, there is a very clear provision in our Constitution, Section 328, subsection 7, that says that if the effect of any amendment is to give an incumbent further time in office, then it must be subjected to a referendum. And that applies to the president, it applies to MPs, it applies to councillors. If the effect, and I'm quoting verbatim, the section says, if the effect is to extend the power, it doesn't matter how you do it, if the effect is to extend, then there has to be a referendum. And whatever we think about this bill, whether we support it or not, those provisions which will extend the office of incumbency, including myself, must be subjected to a referendum. So that's the legal argument, but there's a moral argument as well. And let me speak personally. I was elected to Parliament 3 times, twice to the lower house, once to the Senate, elected, not on proportional representation. In 2023, I was elected to my present office with a majority of 86%. I suspect that's one of the highest majorities in the country. But my mandate was for 5 years. That was the contract between the electorate and me as a councillor. They elected me for 5 years. I can't then, as an elected official, arbitrarily extend my own term of office without a mandate from the people. And so what I was going to say to the committee members is follow my example. I've said publicly, and I say it again today, that my term as a councillor is 5 years. Come the end of that 5 years, whether this bill is passed or not, my term will finish because that is the moral and the correct thing to do. And I urge honourable members, if they are people of integrity, if this is not subjected to a referendum, if they do not get the mandate of the people, then at the end of their 5 years, they should stand down as I will. So you will see from this that in the short time that we've had available today, I have not had time to go into the detail of this. But suffice it to say, and let me conclude by saying that I have multiple objections to it. And I urge parliamentarians to vote this down when it eventually comes to it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions, guys?
But who can?
There's a question at the back.
You guys? We are not. I want a contract. But contract. Want to withdraw a contract?
Sorry, sir.
Just a second.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Could I?
Want to withdraw a contract?
Would like to speak.
Yeah,
Judith.
can I have Judith?
Huh?
Can I have Judith?